That's L.Y.F.E, not you.
When we were on the phone, I was like, L.I.F.E. We're just gonna say that from now on when we're talking about L.I.F.E. It's just L.I.F.E.
Yeah. It's just not you. It's not you. It's me. And by me, I mean.
Can we still be friends though?
I hope so. Because this is the first episode, so I think we're gonna have to.
Okay.
It's just one and done, and you're already out.
Well, I inserted myself.
Did you though?
It's been noticed.
That's true.
It's been observed.
That's true. It is what it is. No regrets.
No regrets.
You ever see that tattoo? That person did no regrets.
I have. Isn't that from like We Are the Millers or something like that?
I forgot about that movie.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That movie was hilarious.
Are we rolling? Is this our intro?
I don't know. I just hit play and everything's just been rolling ever since. That's what I'm saying. I just whatever happens.
Okay, I just like to ask questions, I guess.
This is gonna be, the first 45 minutes of bloopers.
I can't with this guy. Jeez Louise. What's going on, y'all? My name is not being interrupted by everyone. I'm just kidding. Poor timing on my part. Cut. Take two. Or do you want to do the intro?
No.
This is the Right Mind Podcast. Welcome. My name is L.Y.F.E. This is J Faith on my right side.
What's
this is Kayla Shank, and we have
just chill in the building.
What's going on, everybody? I just want to say God bless. I just want to say I'm just grateful to be here with all of you. This is a MOCG production right here at 41st Studios. This is, what number are we on? I don't know anymore.
53?
53, episode 53.
53.
It's like I hit 50 and my memory went gone. And now
I'm far from 50.
I'm trying to stay as far away from 50 as possible, and it's not working.
Yes.
Girl, yep, I get that.
I'll be 35 this summer, and I'm not looking forward to it.
I'll be 30 in like 2 weeks.
Jeez. I remember when I turned 30. That's when everything started falling apart.
I'm not going to lie, though.
Goddamn. I think I'm going to have bad knees for sure.
I mean, I feel like the 30s is where it's at. Like, I've loved where I'm at, like, just in myself and, like, just kind of shedding what doesn't serve me. But, like, if we're talking physically,
Right.
like...
No.
I've had better days.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Especially if anyone's played sports before, like, I know I'm going to have bad knees. I have like just something on my left side. I tore my Achilles like a few years ago too. So like, for about a year of just like only using my left side, like it hurts more now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just the compensation of it for forever.
There was like that imbalance, but I mean, I'm working on it.
Yeah. So now every time it's
gotten better,
it's just
but
achy.
Yeah,
no, not yet.
Us.
No,
go us in our 30s.
that won't be until I'm 50. But
I walked in today.
what's that?
Are you in your 30s?
I'm sorry.
He will be. He's not 30 yet.
Oh, I can't
yeah,
age
no.
you yet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Well, we're saving a seat for you in the 30 club.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right here, right there.
I know. As soon as you.
If your knees will get you there.
Yeah, it should.
We're
Damn.
saving a seat for you.
Oh, it's so
I
bad.
freaking hope so.
Literally walking in here, I was like, what is wrong with me? My ankles hurt, my knees hurt. And like I just played a little basketball today.
I pulled something in my left side, and I think it was just from living. And I just woke up, and it was like that. I can't even say that I did anything extra or like exerted myself a little bit more. So that's my truth.
Does anybody else
I
get
was
that?
halfway sitting down, and that was it. That was my day right there.
That is my truth. Thank you for
Facts.
letting me share that.
Does anybody else get like the hamstring pull in the middle of the night when they're sleeping?
No.
Ooh,
Where like your hamstring cramps?
No.
And you're just stuck? Because
man.
you can't like fold it because it makes it worse, but you can't move because it's like you're still in
I can't
pain.
relate to that.
No,
And I'm
not
just,
yet.
I literally get there and I'm just like, what do? I can't bend it, but I can't go straight. I can't do anything.
Oh no.
You can't roll because it's your hamstring. Like everything is just right there. So you just gotta like suffer through it until it's over. Oh, it's the worst.
And like sometimes you try to stand and it just
it's
it
even
doesn't
worse.
stretch
Yeah,
out
try
at
to
all.
stand.
Yeah.
You stretch it
I've
out.
gotten Charlie
for like 5
horses because of
minutes and
that.
it's still
Like,
there.
what the heck? It's terrible.
I have back issues. I usually always had back issues, but like early like 20s, like, and I have a chiropractor, and he's like, I go there for adjustments, and he's like, Jillian, you need to stop cracking your neck, and I'm like, I don't crack my neck, I just look up.
Oh, wow.
I look up to him.
And he's like, oh my god.
You're like involuntary dog. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dang,
this
that's
is-
tough.
This is 30.
Right? Because they were saying that like if they were to look at future generations, that like our posture as people is going to be more slouched this way because we all look at our
We're always
phones.
on our phone.
Oh my god, my
Yes.
posture is
Yeah.
truly awful. So I can definitely see that.
Like it was already bad for people who
Now all of a sudden
work
I'm
on
like,
a computer. You're like, let me hold on. All of a sudden,
I'm not
everybody's
slouching.
like,
You're
we're just
slouching.
like,
"Welcome to the Red Mind Wednesdays podcast." Where we sit.
Fine Wednesday.
Everybody's
Perfect
so
posture
self-conscious.
podcast.
Perfect,
already-
dude. That's awesome. The 3 Ps, perfect posture podcast.
I'm like, no, never mind. That's ooh.
And now we have head injury.
Now we have a concussed
That was hard.
Hashtag this
perfect
is
posture. Hashtag yeah.
Jeez.
I'm glad that we can capture
That should be the very first like 2 seconds of the blooper. Boom.
There's about to be way more of that in the future. So thanks.
We're here for all of it.
Thanks.
How's everybody feeling? Everybody good?
Feeling good.
Yeah, pretty good.
What's everybody got cooking up, going on, coming soon?
Too much.
Facts.
What you
Yeah.
got? What you got, Jill?
There's a bunch of stuff going on.
You're involved in a lot.
I've been involved in a lot.
That's awesome.
You're
though.
everywhere.
Like you
Thank
really
you.
do a lot. It's really inspiring. It's great.
It. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just like busy bee constantly, but like it's good.
Yes.
Yeah, like last year I was like super busy, but it was like burn yourself out, like I'm dying inside, and now we're like I'm trying to approach this year like way better and just like work smarter, not harder.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
And like just be very like mindful about like how I'm operating and
That's where I'm at.
using
too.
my energy because like it's a lot. Like I performed a lot. I had a lot of great like milestone shows last year, and just like with the ciphers too.
Yeah, that's
a
what
lot
I was
of
saying.
milestone moments with the Bridge Side Cyphers, which were great. But it like I was definitely spent, like you know. And then there's like personal stuff you're going through like
Right.
at the
Yes.
same time. So it was just like a lot of personal stuff last year was going on, and just trying to manage. But like, and like life still happens, but like now I'm
Not you.
just like. Oh man, you guys are gonna throw me off with that one now. Life with an I,
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
L.I.F.E.
because you're L.Y.F.E.
L.Y.F.E,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So that's, you guys know what I mean.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
I know. Yeah.
But yeah, no, like, yeah, just trying to like approach things like the right way, and just trying to use my energy properly, and
That's kind of
And
where
just,
I was
like,
at too.
Do your best to kind of like, you know, spread the workout. Spread the workout load out. That's where I'm at too. You know, a lot of the time, like, last year was crazy because like I had like 1, 2, or 3 shows like every month, which is great because it gets us to where we are now. That's part of why we're in the same space right here. But holy crap. Yeah, I'm just trying to find.
It takes so much work and energy, and like it's not just like I remember like when I like early first started performing, and I thought it was just like you just go up on stage and jump around and while out and
Yeah.
like you know vibe with a bunch
And everything
of people.
works. Yeah.
Oh my god, can I tell you? Listen, I
Yes.
started like public. Well, I started performing and being public with my music when I was 29.
Okay. Dang.
Yeah, what year is it? Okay, I'm gonna be 30. old people stuff.
I know. I was like, wait, she forgot how. I'm like, is she really thinking about how old she is right now?
I stopped counting after 30.
That's fair, though. That's fair.
I'm going to be 34 at the end of this year.
Okay.
But yeah, so like when I started, like I was just like wilding out, like you know, we're just all gonna turn up, and then like after like 2020, it was like, girl, you know, you cannot jump up on that bar the way you did last year. You better chill out.
Yeah, that's true though. Yeah. I was actually the complete opposite. I was super timid. I was that super timid, just don't know what to do with my hands type of person, just kind of just trying to figure it out. And I just kept watching people. And then I would watch like some of my favorite performers. I'd watch Eminem, I'd watch J. Cole, some of those people that just really just for me being like a storyteller and those kind of things, like I wanted to watch people who were doing the same exact thing. So I was like, let me see like how these people maneuver, and it's just like so suave and just like so cool. Yeah. J. Cole's just sitting there and everybody's like, oh my God, like the greatest thing ever. And I'm like, dude, I stand there, I look like an idiot. But you can stand there and it's like, you know, J. Cole can stand there and it's, you know, everybody's just tweaking out.
That's all he's got to do, right?
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, I was just the complete opposite when it came to first performing.
Yeah, like I'm just like, if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. So let's just find out.
Yeah, I'm very much similar. Yeah,
like I'm heavy on the be yourself.
Yes, exactly. That's so important.
Like that's all. Like that's what I try to do with everything I do. Like
it's important. We say it all the time. Like I think real people recognize real all the time. You know, the people that take it very seriously, like they see when people are just trying to force something that isn't them and just like trying to, I don't know, just catch something that is not their wave. It's not their vibe. And then it just like, it throws me off and I'm just like, I see you.
Yeah.
I can see that. Like, just, you know, just chill and be you, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and then I think like at the same time, like it changes over time, like what you consider. Like, I feel like I'm in like a real like transitional like growth period right now, just like with like my music and like organizing wise, and yeah, just like being a lot more like thoughtful and mindful about just like what I create and how I like present myself and like my message, and
it's important.
Yeah,
it's very important.
Yeah, definitely. I'm considering, or I'm in the process, I'm like kind of trying to rebrand, but not really. I want to take the $ out of my stage name and make it just like regular Just Chill.
Just Chill. Okay.
Yeah, like originally, I used the $ so it would make it like unique, because there's like
have it stand out.
Who knows how many Just Jills are out in the world, but like, I was also like, you know, like 22, 23, and then like that was like my thing, like just chill, money, like, and that was like the thing, like, but like as I started like the career, and I'm like, okay, like I don't want to default to that, like, and
I get what you're saying.
Like I did Outside the Algorithm with Sam Nielsen from L.F.E, and he like asked like, oh, like what do you aspire? Are you like aspire to with money, or like, he asked about it, and I was like thinking about it already, but it just kind of like set in for me that like I don't want to default to like just think.
Yeah, you don't want that to be the first thing people think about.
That's funny that you say that, because when as someone that was like just put onto you and your music, and I've listened to your work and watched some of your videos, and what got me was your vibe and your energy, and I noticed that you're really different, and I liked how authentic you are. Like you can tell that it's you, so like that makes a lot of sense what you're saying. But I actually liked the $,
yeah,
because of like you just kind of, that's synonymous with rappers anyways, right?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of stereotypical, not to be rude.
Yeah, no,
but then
you're right.
to actually like watch your stuff and to listen to your work, it's different. So I thought it was kind of like playful in a way, if
Right,
that makes sense. So I liked that actually.
Thanks, I appreciate that. Yeah, like because it was just like very innocent. I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
like I'm different, like so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. This is gonna make it stick. But another reason why I wanted to change it was because like when I started putting like projects out, the formatting like isn't recognizable. So if somebody was to be like, hey, play Just Jill, like it would go to
Right.
That's a
someone
great
else.
It
So
could,
yeah.
it could go to
Right.
somebody
That's
else.
a
Yeah, it's
great
kind of like
That's what
would
I'm
you
battling
do
with.
it?
Like,
Yep.
Right.
right.
I'm telling you, you gotta make it smaller.
I cannot with that right now. I can't even look at you.
Oh, reliable.
I'm sorry. I can't look at
This is what it is. Yeah, that's kind of
Cynical, if you're watching this, I feel you.
It's like I can't even look at you, bro. Somebody reference back episode 52, please.
so all last episode we had Cynical. I don't know if you've ever met or seen Cynical. Phenomenal dude. Shout out to Cynical, episode 52.
Nice.
He was on last week, and like the whole time the mic is just like dipping into his crotch the entire episode, and he's just like and then like 5 minutes later it was like
It was like seesaw mic.
yeah,
And
it was so bad. And he's like, I think it just wants to stay there, so we're just gonna, and we'll just rock with
Actually,
it.
yeah, I did see that. Now that you say that, yes, I saw
Yeah.
that this morning.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, whatever. All right, cool.
So like the thing with my name is one, like if you search Life without like the abbreviations, it goes to like Life Jennings or like whoever
Yeah.
else Life is out there. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of too many similar names. It still works for me because like nobody else like has like L.Y. like the what you call it, the acronym,
Yeah.
the way it's spelled.
Yep.
But I'm still having trouble with like Apple Music and iTunes because like they don't.
They don't acknowledge the periods.
Right. Yeah.
Which is annoying. Because like
Yeah.
even
Okay.
or like the lack of periods. Because like I'm the opposite. I wanted J and then space and then Faith, and they keep adding us a period there. And
Yeah.
I know it's so like minuscule, but I'm like, I don't want that
No,
there.
but
Like
still, it's
right,
no.
take
Yeah.
that away. Like so
No, it's like it's your art and your creation, so you want it to be treated as such.
yeah, I want it to be exactly
You know,
how I
but-
want it. But they
Right.
keep-
Yeah, so it's like, it's just like kind of like a struggle, like debating whether I want to like really make that change and just like the pros and the cons, like
Yeah. It's a big decision.
I can
'cause
see that.
yeah.
There's like
like I did like a ton of research just being like, even like with our song, like, you just released your music. So like, is that gonna, if I was to change my name on Spotify, is that gonna affect what you posted? And is it gonna
Right.
redirect somewhere else to another page that's inactive? Blah, 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 blah.
You know who
Right.
would know?
Or will it still attach to yourself? So then
Yeah.
when you go on like, Apple, for example, just because I use Apple,
Right.
it's like also featured on, and then, you have all the catalog of everything that you're featured on. Like, is that still going to pop up now that you've changed everything? Yeah, I get what you're
Yeah.
saying. But I think what could happen, at least from my perspective, at least on that song, is, and I think DistroKid does it too. I used one RPM to release Apartments, but in the past, obviously, I've used DistroKid. And one of the things that you can do when you're tagging the artist is you can actually tag their specific Spotify and Apple and all that other stuff so that it links it directly. So I mean, at least for that worst case scenario, I could
Yeah.
always just adjust it. I'm assuming that I'd be able to just at least that portion of it,
Yeah.
adjust it and be like, no, like let me switch the profiles, make sure it's the right one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, we'll see.
Right.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, our music is out there, and
It is.
it's still easily accessible.
Yep.
Like people can still find me on Spotify and like YouTube. That's like the main two that I like promote, really.
Yeah.
So as long as people
Right.
can find it, that's really all that matters.
Right.
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. Just the change in trying to refocus. That's kind of where I'm at now. You know, leading towards the end of last year, kind of coming into here, like trying to finish up apartments finally. But yeah, I just, it was getting to be like, you're doing 2-3 shows a month, which for me it was a hassle because a lot of them were local shows. Well, they were all local shows, but when I do all these like bunch of multiple local shows, I try to switch what I'm performing because I don't want it to be the same. Because if like the same people are like, hey, I want to come out and show up and support, I want to be like, hey, here's the same exact set that you just heard, a week ago.
Yeah.
I'd rather do something different, keep it interesting. So then it's like you've mastered this one set. Then it's like, all right, the next week now I've got to go and rehearse and kind of like for me, like set up a new kind of just new set,
new
because
experience.
I try to intricate things, put things in there, sprinkle a little bit of different things in there as for my set. So it was just like, man, like this is getting exhausting because like now I'm like reformatting it, switching songs, like now this is here, then I'm changing songs. So it was just like it got to be a lot. And then again, trying to finish apartments, I was like, I have to just stop like and just relax. Like I think the only show that I had was in December. And that wasn't even one that I was looking for. Other than that, like I was like, I'm not looking for shows. I'm not trying to do anything.
Right,
I just need to go to the Bridge Side, the Bridge Sound and Stage, not the Bridge Side Cypher.
I'm like, no,
even
you
though
need
I
to come to
get
the
over
Bridge
there.
Side.
I do.
Nah, you
Yeah,
were right.
I do want to check that out. I
Like,
do
don't
wanna
play,
check
don't
that
play.
out. Absolutely.
But I was like, I have to get over there and I have to finish this because I've waited too long. So I definitely. And now I'm just like, okay, like what's where am I going next? What's my next move? Let's focus on one thing versus the 10 that I was trying to do.
Right, yeah.
Like,
Can I ask you a question? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm cutting
no,
you
you're good. You're good. You're good.
What does because I know it's going to be different for everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm just personally interested, like, what does your rehearsal, like, entail? Like, what do each of you do, like, in your rehearsals for your sets before a show? Like, what does that consist of?
Ladies first, as I put her on the spot.
I think it depends. Originally, it was me and like my monitor and my microphone in my living room.
Well, yeah.
And a lot of tea and
Of
stuff
course.
like that. So
Of course.
like, but I mean, like there have been some shows I've performed for, or I mean I've rehearsed way better for than other shows. I think sometimes like some shows where I've lacked because like I was usually like around like the same homies and the same venues, so like, and then I would be upset afterwards and like beat myself up because I didn't rehearse as well as I feel like I should have because of like just
Right.
the environment I was in.
You
Yeah,
get comfortable.
yeah. Yeah,
like,
exactly.
We can get comfortable, so
Right.
I get that.
So like there have been like sets I've had where I've just been like, oh, I'm comfortable with this place, I'll just do this.
I feel that.
But like I always still try to kind of like mix up like the variety of songs and the vibe depending on where I'm at.
Yeah.
I did a really dope show last year at the Square Root in Roslindale.
Okay.
And it was like coffee house vibe.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
I
dope.
love that.
That's
yeah,
dope.
and it was like my first 45-minute like alone set.
Nice.
Great.
Awesome.
That's
Yeah,
fire.
shout out to Michael Bosey. He hooked me up
That's
with that one.
fantastic.
He had a series going on with, I believe it was, I want to say Celebrity Series,
Okay.
but the name of it was the Songwriter Series, and
Oh, I think I did
he was,
see that.
I think he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
funded by Celebrity Series, but yeah, super dope musician. So thanks Michael Bosey for that opportunity. That was super fun. And like, I'm just like, I'm used to Cambridge. I'm from Cambridge. So like just like the like little gritty areas and stuff like that I'm used to. So it was like being in like kind of like a more calm, like coffee house, like kind of setting. Like them liking my hip hop was really dope. So
Yeah, it's a vibe though.
definitely.
Like I love little like coffee house
because I never
shows.
I never really performed in a setting like that, so it was like really dope. Like I had like a good chunk of time, and like a lot of my music is like really vulnerable. So I just try to be like very mindful about how I like have my sets, and like, you know, the story I want behind it, and you know.
Yeah.
So that that show was super awesome, and like I got to play like a lot of my like more like the songs off of like my first project, like $1 Billion Dreams. I didn't really promote my first project as much as I should have, because I was like really hard on myself after I dropped it. And I think it's also just like as you grow as an artist and you learn things, like, you know.
You got to start somewhere and figure out what's right, what's wrong, how can I make it better.
Yeah, like
and
I'm
go
always
from there.
like, I didn't do this good enough, or like
Yeah.
and like I kind of like bummed myself out. Like I kind of regret it now.
Yeah.
Now that I'm like thinking back, because I was just like,
It's
you know,
just a growth moment.
yeah, and everyone's like, it's so great, and I'm over here like, but
I loved it. I
We're
was
our
like,
worst critics.
I was like,
wrong
that's
with
a
it?
genius name.
Yeah.
It's super catchy. Like,
Yeah.
but then again, it's any outsider's gonna be able to see it so differently than you.
yeah,
So I totally understand that. But you learned really valuable lessons through that, though.
Thank
It sounds
you.
like.
yeah, like a lot. So, like with that project, it was the thing. One of the like, I don't want to necessarily call it an issue, but it was like more of a mixtape than an album.
Okay.
And I was just like, you know, I'm on the scene and I need to have something. I have all this stuff and I need to just put something out.
Yeah.
And so it's like a compilation of tracks from when I was like 22 to when I was 30. So like
Gotcha.
it's just like
Just a full spread.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot going on and there's a lot of different sounds, and I was just like, yeah, like I'm versatile. Like people are gonna
yeah.
love this shit.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, like, you know, I was sitting on it for like probably like 6 or 7 years. Like, so I just was in a rush. Like,
Story of my life.
yeah,
I'm like, someone can relate.
right. I know apartments,
It's
13
true.
years.
You have no idea.
I'm like, I know
But
a man that
You wrote that,
may be
I was
able
like,
to relate.
felt that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. 13 years
Because
of
it'd be
process.
like
but yeah.
that. But yeah, so like I was just like eager, like all the feels and emotions. But like I'm working on a project now and I'm like super excited because I'm just approaching it like a lot better than like I did originally, which is okay. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that's how you learn.
Exactly. Right.
So-
Like we've talked about that in a couple episodes back of just like
Yeah.
the importance of honoring that part of yourself, like the little baby part of you, like when you
Yeah.
first started out, and like just kind of thinking back to that, and like there is beauty in that, like thinking
Right.
back, and of course you know different things now, and the way that you operate is going to be different, but you can still be like, oh,
Right.
like, you know,
Yeah.
like it's important that you started, you know.
Yeah,
Thank
that's the
Thank you, I
biggest thing.
appreciate
Right.
that.
What about you? What's the sets? What's the pre-show look like for you?
So I mean, I like listen to, you know, certain songs that I just, you know, everything new that I record, I just like listen to it over and over and over again. And
yes.
then when it starts to stick, I'll, you know, just like get like performance tracks for those specific songs ready. And then, you know, I'll just like, you know, rap with the song, the full song, and then like once I have that down, I go over to the performance tracks, and then I just like rehearse over and over and over again, and that's that. With newer songs, I rehearse a lot more thorough, but like once I have those down, I want to, perform those same songs just to keep it consistent and keep
Right.
these songs in rotation
Yep.
and keep them heard until I'm, tired of performing it, and then I just regroup and start the process over again.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
It lives in your
Nice.
body too. Like after
Right.
you're like programming it in your body.
Yeah.
So like
Right.
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
And
then
that
can
way
just kind
it
of-
becomes second nature, and then
Right.
you're like each performance, every time you step up on the stage, it just gets better and better and better,
Right.
more refined.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say about mine. Is if it's songs that I've been doing like consistently, like I said, like and just kind of just rotating, like kind of the format of how I perform them kind of stays the same. Just depends on where it falls in the rotation. But I rehearse at work. We have like a PA system, so I'll literally like my lunch break, just like crank up the music. They'll have the wired mics. I like to practice with wired mics, and the only reason
coming
I
to work.
yeah, right. And the only reason I do is because if that's ever the case, like I'll be ready for it. And then if I have wireless, then it's like, oh, freedom for me. I'm jumping around everywhere. But at least I can be prepared with the wire, because it's definitely a different experience, wired versus wireless.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And then for the new stuff, I will literally take the lyrics out, if I'm not familiar with it, and I'll literally just like kind of like I would be in a studio and just kind of just rapping along till I kind of get it.
Yeah.
The way my brain works is like I literally start at the top. I'll try to memorize like, 4 bars or whatever, make sure that sticks. And then I'll rehearse it, make sure that I got those 4. And then I'll continue all the way down until I have everything, just how my brain operates. And then, I'm, driving to work, I'm, leaving work, whatever. It's just playing the track itself, and just rapping to the track. And then for me, the biggest thing is definitely making sure that I rap to the performance track, because
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to get comfortable in what I'm hearing in the actual song, because that's happened to me before. I get comfortable with it and then I either forget, or I'm listening for something, and then obviously you kind of take things out.
You're
for-
relying too much on the words.
right? Or like
yeah.
or I feel subconsciously sometimes I will hear the word or like the start of the word before I actually start writing in the song. So then like I'm relying on that instead of myself.
Yep.
So I'm like, all right, let me make sure that I have this down, and then let me just take like, 2 weeks of just performing with, just the performance track itself,
Right.
just to
Yeah.
make sure. And then, leading up to the show, I'll maybe rehearse like twice, a week prior, to the show, just like twice. I don't like to overdo it too much, just so that I don't like overthink it.
Yeah.
And then again, if it's songs that I've done, the stage presence is kind of the same. I'm just making sure that like I have the song down at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
The newer stuff, it goes into, making sure that I know the song, and then I have some sort of, for me, some sort of scheme that I'm going into as far as what my stage presence looks like. and
Yeah, but are you
what my
like
show
this
looks
is where
like.
I get weird. I'm like, but you need to describe in detail. Are you rapping in front of a mirror? Like, what are you
Yeah, I do have a mirror.
Like, what
Yeah.
are you doing?
I
Like,
do have a mirror.
You know what? I play songs on my JBL speaker. I grab my remote and I go at it. I'm the
No, but
walls
that's
are
what
my,
I'm asking. Like, what are you doing? Like, because
Yeah,
I,
I
have a mirror,
imagine that you
because I look
need
at
to-
myself. I try
Right.
to like keep that eye contact, or at least try to keep that kind of level gaze as you would, with a crowd, and just making sure I try to keep that eye contact, because I know for me, I definitely sometimes can veer off and just like start like just like kind of looking everywhere and just rapping.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to make sure that I'm engaging with the crowd. They're there, and I can do very well with that once I actually like kind of jump into that. But if I'm not, like I feel like I get off stage and I'm like, man, like I could have engaged a little bit more. I could have looked at them a little more. I
right.
could have jumped in there.
That's a really great point. Thank
or
you
like
for bringing that
spot
up.
things out like that people are doing, and then add that to my set. If somebody's like doing something, I'm like, oh, what's up, and then I jump in and
Yeah.
do whatever. So I'm always trying to like be cautious of those things too. But yeah, in front
Another
of a
tough
mirror.
thing too is like I'm not a big talker on stage, so like I try to work on like the transitions between each song. Like what do I say? Like you know what I mean? In
Yeah,
between.
that's one
There's
of my
that.
things is transitions.
Yeah. I mean, I do well with it. I just, keep it short and simple. I don't, feel the need to, have a speech ready or something like that.
Some
know?
people talk too long.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Jill,
You're looking at
Sorry. My bad.
Oh, okay. I was like, what are you? I was like, are you saying because like you want to like get your story out there, or you just don't know like?
There have definitely been times where I've done better than other times. Like,
Sorry. Now I'm like, wow. I'm just
Like,
sorry, and
L.I.F.E.
I'm gonna shut up now.
no, you're fine.
But so let me clarify that piece first. Is if you're kind of like explaining the song and like the background behind it and like how meaningful it is to you, and I'm speaking to myself too, like I feel like that's valuable, especially if you're in front of a new crowd and you know you're trying to do it. Obviously, like when you make it big and whatever, like everybody knows the whole story, whatever, you don't have to go through that process. But if you're kind of just trying to share and like get people to understand what this song is about, like dope, I want to hear it.
Yeah.
I want to hear the backstory. Like that's the best thing in the world. But there's some people I've seen that just like go on just random tangents for like 20 minutes, and I'm like, dude, can you just
experienced
perform?
that.
Right.
Like,
Yes.
I just want to hear the song. But if you're just trying to like engage the crowd or you know kind of sharing that story, appreciate it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's hear it. She's like, all right, Chiefs. All right, here we go. Let me explain.
I'm just thinking of like my last show. So like there was this like portion at one of the last shows I did. It was at Sammy's patio, and like I was super proud of myself, and like I paced myself properly. It was like really good like call and response with the crowd and everything. And then like I kind of like tried to start a cypher, but like I was also stalling because like I was waiting for like the music situation.
Oh,
Yeah.
but that's different.
Yeah.
That's different. That's not like, yeah, that's different.
So
Oh, if you had to improv to like make everything work in a situation, like hats off to you. You did your
Yeah.
best.
But I was
girl.
also like Liddy, so it wasn't like that successful. Like
You tried. You tried.
I did try, and they just
And
took
that's
the
what
mic. They were
matters.
like, "All right, guys."
Yeah.
But that's more improv and trying
Right.
to
Yeah.
Yeah.
whip something up like literally on the spot.
Yeah.
You know, that's different.
Like
but
you
if
showed you were down.
Yeah.
Like your intentions were good.
yeah,
Who
no,
cares?
that's different. That's
Yeah.
different. No, you're good. You're good. You're still good in my book.
Thanks.
Any other questions for performing?
I mean, I'm sure they'll just randomly pop into my head as we go. But you guys brought up some really good points just about like maintaining eye contact, like engagement in the crowd. Because as an actor,
It's
I'm
huge.
not ever thinking of doing that. But now that I'm trying to like come out in a different way and like start in music, that is such an excellent point that I didn't even think about. So like it's just like the little things that you're saying that I'm like light bulb.
It's different. It's different.
Sometimes it's tough too, because like if you're in front of a crowd that isn't really like engaged with the music, they're just talking amongst themselves. Like you try to talk to them and you try to, it's just like, all right, well, go to the next song. I'm
That's
just
gotta
gonna
be
get
tough.
through this. I'm not gonna say anything
Yeah.
else. I'm just gonna fucking rap.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get off stage because I'm uncomfortable now. Like,
Yeah.
or you're trying to get
awkward.
them into it, trying to get
Right.
their hands going,
Can
and
we,
they're just
can we
like,
talk about
I'll
this
get one
actually?
person.
Like what do you guys do if you find that happening? Like if you find that you either
I just
are
keep it
losing
rolling.
buy-in or never had it with a crowd.
I just keep it rolling
Yeah.
as best as possible, and,
I
and
guess,
I
yeah, that's
still
all you can do.
present myself the way I always do. If I get claps, great. If not,
Right.
I
Whatever.
got up there. It's it is what it is sometimes.
I mean, every performance counts. Like it's
Yeah.
it's great to just get out there. You know what I mean? Like I always feel like you can never perform enough. Like just
Right.
keep you fresh. That's a skill
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you always need to keep sharp. So
Yeah, that happens
I mean,
sometimes too.
yeah, if the hand wave
Especially
doesn't,
if people don't know who you are and they're trying to. But
fill you out, yeah.
yeah,
What do you
Like
say
if-
about a hand wave?
If like the hand wave thing doesn't work after like
That's
5
not good
seconds, I'm like, all right, I'm moving on.
a lot of the time
All
it
right,
doesn't
that's
for me.
not-
But
Yeah. And then, but at the same time, it's also kind of misleading because, like, I just did a show up in Vermont, and like me and Murph were like just trying to kill it the best that we can, and that's what happens too. Like, if people are dead, like we're just gonna keep rocking and try to just
Right.
keep killing
Of
it.
course.
So like we're
show must
like
go on.
doing our thing as usual, and I'm watching. This is like one of those shows. Like I'm watching the crowd. I'm like trying to see like, are they invested? Like, are they into this? Like, are they liking this? Like, and like they're all kind of like stone faced kind of thing. And I'm like, oh god. Like in my head, I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
But performing, I'm like, dude, just keep it rocking, keep moving. And then as soon as we get off, everybody's like, oh man, that was so dope. I love your song. That was so cool. I love everything you were talking. I'm like, where were you?
Right.
Like,
Were you like,
Yeah.
I was like, can we get a little crowd participation?
It still feels good at that point because it
does.
At least they're watching. At least they're into the music.
COVID
in some
changed the way
Some
people-
people are just like shy. Some people just like don't. I don't know. But like, yeah, afterward it's dope to have people be like, oh my god, like this song here, like I was in this place at this time. This point forward, like you've changed my life here. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think one of the things that helped me with like my performances was from going to the ciphers and like just the crowd being so involved and like really helping like my call and response and like getting like their attention because that was, I felt like one of the easiest things was just to be like, when I say right mind, y'all say podcast, right? And like that.
Podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
She's like, I'm here, I'm present, I'm ready.
Yes, exactly. So I felt like I always had that like in the back pocket to be like, okay, I know they'll respond if I do this.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like to go first a lot of the time because like I need to see like how the environment is so that way when I get up on stage it's like, all right, if everyone's like litty into it, like all right, just it's go time. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, reading the crowd.
If you're the first one, it's very hard to read. And you're just like, because that's what we were at the Vermont show. We were the first one. We had to open everything, kick everything off, and I was just like, all right, here goes. Like, let's see what happens. Right. But I mean, I don't mind it, and then I do mind it. It's kind of one of those catch-22
it comes with some
things.
responsibility.
Yeah. But like, I try to just put it off. Like, I need to just set this thing off, and like, I just need to like just tear this thing up, and then just make people, remember the first one. And then, because like even people said, they were like, out of like the 3-4 people that performed, like we still like remember Murph and J Faith like over everybody. Yeah. And everybody was dope. Like I'm not trying to knock anybody that was performing. Everybody was super dope. But that was just things that we heard. And I was like, that's what we try to do.
Right. And in front of new crowds too, like it's important to like keep in mind, like treat it as like you're meeting a new person. Like how would you go about that? You know what I mean? It's first impression. Hey, this is, I'm L.Y.F.E. I'm from so and so. I've been doing this for, you know what I mean? This is me. So
like worst case
that
scenario,
takes the nerves out.
Yeah, worst case scenario for me, I also think of it too is like the people that are putting me onto the show, whether it's the DJ or the promoter itself. Like if I just knock this show out the park, and like they see that and they notice that, whether the crowd is like reacting or not, and they like recognize that, like hopefully you get a call back or something, or it's like, hey, here's another show. Like that happened to me. I was doing a opening contest for R.A. the Rugged Man at the Shaskeen, and I went up there and like just like I did my thing, whatever, just to the best of my ability. It was me, Cody Pope, a couple bunch of other people in the scene, just local people, and we finished everything or whatever, and they announced the 2 winners. It wasn't me, and I was like, whatever, it's cool, like it's a hard decision to make. And then the owner came over after and he was like, hey, listen, like, I just want to let you know that, like, we didn't choose you because we didn't feel like you were a good fit for R.A. the Rugged Man. But, like, we have AZ coming into town. And we feel like you would be a better fit because you just, like, tore it and you just fit that style. So me and Cody Pope got to open up for AZ and we didn't even have to, like, try. Like, they were just like, we're just going to put you on this show. And I was like, what? Oh, super dope. So it's like, you never know like who's kind of like paying attention. And I was like, that's such dope attention to detail that you would like be like, one, you're not just a good fit. Like we want to put on a good show, but also two, like, hey, here's something else, just people trying to make sure. So stuff like that.
What's the dopest experience you've had at a show? Like
Dopest
ever?
experience
Yeah.
ever.
Well, leading up to this point, you know what I mean?
At a show?
Yeah.
Okay. Any show or like my shows?
Your show.
My shows?
One that you're. Well, I'm over here trying to talk for him.
I know. I'm like your show. Sorry, L.Y.F.E.
Yeah,
like-
one that you've performed at.
What
Yeah.
if I performed at?
That's what I want. I don't know what that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
On the spot.
Right?
That is a hard question though, because like even as you said it, I was like, what would mine be?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. Or what's like, I don't know, maybe like what's a memorable moment that you
Yeah.
had?
Like I had, because I'm like define
Between
crazy.
between like you and the crowd, I would say.
Between what?
Like you and the crowd, like what's. That is a loaded question. My bad.
So many shows, so many ciphers.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh my
I know,
God,
you're involved in a
so
lot.
many moments. It's
Yeah.
like, but it's good stuff.
Yeah. Is there any that like sticks out to you the most? Like the first thing that comes to mind, or
I have one memorable moment.
okay.
It's one of I'll do a cipher if that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of my most favorite ciphers we had. It was at Starlight Square over in Central Square. And we had, we were doing live band ciphers. So like,
Oh, yeah,
Already
that's awesome.
sick.
That's
already
yeah.
sick.
so
so.
we had, who did we have? We had Terry and the Sons, that's who we had. And we were doing like open mics, and like a little bit of spoken word like earlier in the day.
That's
And then
already
like
dope,
Terry, Sassy and their band played. Who else was there? Yes, Amanda Shea was there. I remember his Facebook name, but I don't want to put him on blast like that.
Like we don't want to put the government names
Yeah,
out
I don't want
there.
to put his government name out. But he was there. I won't put him on blast like that. But anyways, yeah, we had the cipher, and like it got like maybe halfway through the cipher and it started raining, and it was like outdoors, and like usually when stuff like that happens, like you end up having to like pack up or whatever.
Yeah.
But like shout out to Starlight, we just like popped up like a bunch of tents because like the
They were
energy
ready
was
for
just
it.
going, and we had like this rain like dance hip hop cipher. Like, it was
That's kinda
so
cool, though.
Awesome.
It was,
That
it
sounds
was
so
ill.
cool.
We were just like all like performing in the rain, and like
Wow.
like the
It's like-
crowd was
oh, it's
into
so
it. The
moving.
crowd, like they weren't even in under the tents anymore. Like they were with us.
Nice.
And like
That's
we were
bomb.
all just like
It was like
wild.
Step Up. You know, remember when they were inside?
Yeah.
Like, let's speak this whole song.
I was
And then
gonna
they're just like,
say
yeah.
that, but she was talking, and I was like, "Can you get my telepathic message right now? Oh my God, step up, Jay, and step up."
Oh my God. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was so much fun. Yeah, and we got a lot of great like pictures and well, we kind of got good footage from it. We had to break out the phones, so
Oh, yeah.
because it was raining. So like, but it was we still
That's
got
so cool.
That's cool.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
there's been so many. Every cipher we've had like is just like always like a special like significant moment. Like there's never like a cipher where I'm just like, oh, like that cipher, like
Yeah. And the cool thing about it is like some people have things written, some off the top, some a little of
yeah,
both. It's
yeah,
a mix of different
right.
things.
Exactly, and it's like that's the thing. Like we don't
You just get up-
want it
get
to
up there and
be
let-
like a judgment, like oh you didn't do it off the top, like
Right.
well it's okay because they're still learning.
Yeah. You just get up
It's
there and have
tough.
fun. That's what it's all about.
You know, like they got on the mic and they did that, like
Right.
you know,
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that attitude.
and then
Yeah.
Like everyone's
and
welcome.
then you know can worry about that somewhere else, like you know, but. Yeah, like we just have so many like different walks of lives and like
So is it all skill levels welcome then?
yeah, all experience
That's
levels
awesome.
welcome. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's always the best kind of environment to learn in.
Yeah.
Especially like if you're entering as a newbie, if you will, and then you're around some of the best talent. And it's like,
Yeah.
obviously when you're learning, you want to be around the best because that's
Right.
who else would you want to learn from? So that's always so cool to just kind of have like a mixed pool of people, so everyone can just kind of like learn from everything, really.
Right, and it's just like it's all like community too, like
that.
So it's just like all different kinds of people, especially when we were at Starlight Square, because it was like broadening our audience. So it wasn't just like hip hop heads anymore. There were like families and stuff there, and like all different like people, like you know, from different places, and it was really dope. So like we did like a Bridge Side series there where we had like a live band cypher there like last Saturday of every other month and stuff like that, and we were alternating a bit. But the cyphers are great. Like we've just met so many different people over like the past 5 years. Like it's been running since 2017, so it's been like about 5 years
That's
now.
dope.
And
it's consistent too. Like every time I see it, it's just like, all right, we're here. Like we're showing up. Like
trying,
I think the
you
only
know?
time that's like, whether it's like, you know, downpouring. I know sometimes you guys have had to, but you like you're like, nah, like we're just gonna reschedule it. Like it's not canceled.
Yeah.
We're just gonna reschedule and make sure that this happens. Like so people show up.
right,
You know,
absolutely,
because I think there's value in that. You know, definitely. You know what I'm saying? Like people see the value in that. It's a little bit different. It's not just your typical show. It's like it's just people coming out and just you know, just kind of vibing, like you said, like all different skill levels. You know that you know people can come and just learn and show out or do both. You know,
Right, exactly. And like that's I think like all that we ask really is just like, you know, show up, support, like, you know. I think sometimes like people like might get caught up because we do like the videography and stuff like that. So then they'll be like that one artist who is just like, yo, what are you doing with the video? Da, 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 da. And yo, I got this person coming and we're gonna do this and blah 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 blah. And it's like, bro, like yeah, come, but just like be aware, like this is like everyone's show, not like the one person show. Like,
like it's serious, but it's not that serious. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like like you're trying to make it this big. That person's trying to make it this bigger thing than it really is. Like, bro, this is bigger than you.
Yeah.
In a sense, like it's not just about you. What I'm trying to get at. Again,
It sounds like
I think
a
it's
safe
valuable
space for
thing.
community, really. And I think that's beautiful and like respect too, because to put together an event is just a lot of work in itself. So like respect to you. And also to bring together a group of people with such like wonderful intentions and like wholesome, authentic intentions is really great. And we were talking about this on the last episode, just how it's become more of a sense of community. And like it really is about like building each other up, helping each other out. Like at the end of the day, we're all working towards the same goal, right? Like we're all creatives, right? We may have different outlets and avenues that we go down, but the dream is the dream. We all understand that. So it's like, why would we not be working together?
Right.
So, and I think that's beautiful. So like
Community
respect to you
is-
for doing that.
Community is just as important, if not a little more than, you know, the art itself, because it keeps people coming back. And you know, for anybody that, you know, shows up just to support, like you're, you know, they feel acknowledged.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
they feel like you care about them.
Humans
in some
need
way.
a sense of community in order to survive. Like
Well, you
that's
need-
just
Exactly.
what it is.
You need people in your corner. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the teens that's at my job, you know, he was talking about, he's going for this thing it's called Youth of the Year for the Boys and Girls Club. And that's one of the things he talks about. He's like growing up, like you have to have at least like one person in your corner that's like supporting you. So it's like if you can have a community, like that's even better. So it's just like, you know, people you can feed off of and learn from and whatever. There isn't the gatekeepers. There aren't people that are just trying to like, you know, be like, no, like you're not at our level. It's like, hey, like if you're trying to just rap some bars that you've already written, hey, come and learn, and then watch somebody that can do it off the top of their head and figure out, you know, ask them questions like, how do you practice? How do you learn? Like I'm terrible at freestyling, but it pisses me off because there's sometimes like I can like spit for like 10 minutes and just freestyle, and then sometimes I'm like, I words. What
Yeah.
are they?
It's like a muscle. You have to
Yeah, and you
keep
have to
working
practice it,
I've
and that's my,
been there.
and that's my struggle. I don't practice enough, but
And
you know,
you never know, because like sometimes like people don't have a place to go. Like some people come
Yeah.
to certain events like because that's the only thing
Right.
that's that they can escape from, and that's the only thing they have. You
Or
know
have
what I mean?
access to.
Right, exactly.
And that's one thing I learned definitely, like throughout this experience, because like I was going originally just as an artist. Aaron King, the co-founder, me and him went to high school together.
oh, word.
Yeah,
Okay.
so like I just pulled up and I'm just like, oh, like that's Aaron King, and he's like, oh, let's chill, like, so that's just kind of like
It's like homecoming.
yeah, like so we're just like yeah, so like coming into it that like as a artist and then organizing and like just realizing the impact it had on other artists and other places
Right.
was just it was just a lot for me, like, and I really I just think it's really special, and I feel super blessed and super grateful to be able to like say I can provide that for artists in New England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not just like, it's like the entire network. Like we've had people come like from Connecticut and like
That's dope.
Wow.
we've just recently actually Free from 106 in Park, she reposted one
That's
of our
sick.
Oh, wow.
yeah,
That's
she
fire.
reposted shout out to
dope.
Minnie Clay, fire female artist.
That's dope.
Yeah, she just reposted Minnie Clay's video.
That's cool.
Yeah, so just like, and just seeing like from even just like the like little connections that are made in between,
Yeah.
like, you know, like
It all matters.
all of us, like,
Yeah.
like it's like watching like, you know, your kids grow up in a way, like I
Right.
get like all
Yeah.
the feels.
Right. Yeah. Right.
That's just awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like, word, like Cold Corn is working with something new, like they're collabing, like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I just love, that's one thing I love the most out of it, seeing the connections that's created out of it, and just how positive an experience it's been. Like and they've all been like very successful, like very little drama.
Good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so important because it sounds like everyone is pretty aligned in the understanding
Exactly.
of what it is.
Right.
And if they're not, it sounds like they kind of get with it. pretty
Right, and
quick,
it's like,
so.
you know, you can't control everything. Like
Yeah.
sometimes stuff happens, but like I think it's all about how you rectify it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like handle it. So, yeah, just super proud of Bridge Side and just how
For
far it's
sure.
come and how far we've all come as artists also, and like,
Yeah.
just sharing and spreading the love.
It's like
Oh yeah, I always love like watching the reels, and
You guys
because
need to listen.
oh, I need to get myself there for sure.
Yeah.
Like
The reels,
I'm about to just pull up
like
and be
the
a spectator
videos
and
of the
just watch.
videos, being
yeah.
there is like
It's a whole
mind
different-
I definitely
Yeah.
want to
Oh.
go watch. I'll just be an enthusiast.
like even just spectating and watching.
Yeah, I
it,
like. I'll pull up and I'll support. And hell yeah, that sounds
But
fun.
like even like we would let you get on the mic if you had something to say, like whatever.
Oh, is that? But I'll support you.
No, speak your truth. No.
you gotta go do like the bridge side, just do that.
Oh, I can do that. I can be the
Yeah,
illest hype man.
side.
Actually, you know what, Joe? You might be
Yes.
honest about that. What were you gonna say, Jay?
No, I was just gonna
Yes.
say, to me, it reminds me of what we were talking about. I don't remember when it was, but it was one of those things where like people that don't have those resources to, get a guitar, to learn guitar, but they just have like the brain for it, or to make
Yeah.
music. Like to me, it sounds like one of those spaces. Like if there's somebody that just like is just obsessed with music, just wants to write and put things together. Like maybe they just hear songs in the radio and they're just writing like crazy and they have just bars for days. Like it's a platform that they can like kind of get themselves onto and get themselves in front of a microphone.
Right.
So now it's like you have the opportunity to get a clip for yourself. It's like,
Right, exactly.
and at least get yourself heard, in that kind of platform, so that, you can at least take a step.
Yeah,
You know
have
what I
some
mean?
substance.
You know,
with it,
because
right.
there's probably a bunch of people that just can't get to a studio. They can't get to a studio. They can't
Yeah.
afford a studio. You know, they
Right.
can't afford to build a studio in their home or learn how to play the guitar or whatever. But there's a platform that people can kind of come and be like, hey, like, I'm just really into music and just, you know, building. And then it's like, hey, then they meet a bunch of people and then they're like, hey, come through the studio. And then it's like, boom, now they've just taken off, and, you know, they've have all these resources and network system that they've just created just by showing up.
Yeah.
So that, you know what I'm saying? That's what.
Spaces like that are so important too. I feel like to just like keep that in flow, like you said, keep exercising that muscle, like work out the kinks in your performances, like, because let's get real, we have to flop and make mistakes in order to become better performers. So
Right.
like
100%.
what better place than a group of like it's a safe
Right.
space, it's a community of like-minded people, like that's
and it's all
that's
ages,
dope. That's
Yeah.
all
bomb.
backgrounds of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, like shout out to my boy Young Dog. He's the youngest of the Bridge Siders, but he is becoming a nice young man, we'll say,
That's awesome.
because he's
Yeah.
13 now.
Okay. Okay. Hey, he's growing
Soon
up.
to be 14, I think, almost. No, he just turned 13.
Okay.
Because our birthdays are close. We were in December.
That's
But
cool
yeah.
though.
Like, yeah, like even seeing him in videos, like, blows my mind. Like, I look at the old Bridgeside videos from, like, 2020, like, even saying that is
That's
crazy.
cool.
But,
Shout
like,
out to the next generation.
like,
Yeah,
exactly.
like, he was, like, you know, super cute cheeks, and, yeah, like, he had his bars, and, like, now, like, his voice is all deeper.
You're like, who is that?
He's
Yeah.
on, like, 2 different basketball teams.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, doing all this cool stuff. Yo,
Yeah.
so shout out to Young Dog, and shout out to Young Dog's parents, Ted and Erin, for
Yeah.
being like awesome enough to, you know,
That's everything.
Yeah.
Get 'em
Having
in.
support
Trust us.
Supporting,
parents.
yeah.
Yep.
like
That's
that doesn't
everything.
happen, and like I'm so like grateful and thankful that like, you know, people trust us. Like,
That's
you
beautiful.
know, like,
Well, they see the vision.
But that shows how
Yeah.
you know it is that kind of safe space that people
Yeah.
can go and just express themselves creatively.
Yeah.
You know.
right. So
That's dope.
Like it goes back to what we originally said, like people will be able to tell your vibes. Like if your energy is authentic, if you're real, like real recognize real. Like obviously that's the reason why you're able to have as much impact and outreach as you're able to have.
Right. Yeah, and I think another thing I like, I'm super proud of about is just like the like presence of women there.
That's dope
Oh, I
too.
love that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's just like super mind blowing. Like because like it was very few women like artists when I first started going. Like it was like me and Kay Watts.
Yeah.
And like. Maybe like a
Like
singer
leading the
maybe
pack.
pop in once and then like run away or something, but like it that was just one of the
Excuse me.
things. It was like, you know, I'm from Cambridge. Central Square has been my home for the majority of my life. Like things were just falling into place, and I felt like it was like kind of like a personal goal to stay like a consistent presence like that, because like I wanted other girls to get on the mic, and it was just like not even,
Of course.
you know, like just being like, hey girl, like nah, you know you can get on the mic, and if you
yeah.
can't, whatever, like just do what you want, like
Show them they
and
can
even
do
and
it.
even when you mess up, we end up cheering you more anyways because you did it, like, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like we're like, no, you were going, keep going, like so like just seeing all of the like amazing women who have been involved. Like we threw Bridge Side Hot Girl Cypher last year, which was dope. We're gonna run it back and do that again this
That's
summer.
bomb.
That was probably one of my like, yeah, one of the craziest moments. For a crazy moment, I would say that was
Yeah.
like, that show was like super emotional. It was just like so moving between all of us, and like it was just a lot going on. Nancia had collabed with me, and shout out to Nancia, and you know, I've been kind of like moving like under her, like learning a lot from like her experience, and just really staying in touch with her a lot. And working closely together. So having her by my side to, you know, put together Hot Girl Cypher was like super dope. And the lineup, it was like a lineup of like 10 women, and it was all different generations of Bridge Side kind of.
That's sick too.
So it was like the Graffiti
That is-
Alley female artist. It was the you know, skate park days, the newcomers, and like all in one. And then like even like the women who weren't featured, like I still invited everyone to come. Like just you know, even if you're not technically on the flyer, like you can
Right.
still come. We're all gonna jam out regardless. Like so it was really like amazing experience. Like
Yeah, well, it's letting them know that they can do it. Like, there's a lot of places that don't, that are just like, no, this is like a men's space. Like, or hip hop is like still a men's thing. It's like, it's
Yeah.
not. Like, there's
Yeah.
so many dope female artists. It's like, dude, shut up and sit down.
yeah.
Like, there's so many dope females, and like, they'll probably bar you to death. Like, relax. Like,
Yeah.
settle down.
Yeah.
You know? And it's
right.
like, let them express themselves just like we do as men, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're probably going through some crazy stuff too. Like, you never know. Like, and this is probably the same way that you found this an outlet. Like, this is probably the same thing, and you know, this is how they're making it through, or you know, or if they're trying to reach some higher goal, whatever it is. Like, let them be, man. Just
Yeah.
relax. Like,
Right.
take it so seriously. You know, people trying to.
Yeah, and it's like one of the things that like we implemented like when we were at Graffiti Alley was that we decided to start like announcing like no lyrics that disrespect women or any homophobic lyrics.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
No hate, man.
Yeah, like,
I
and it like, you know, because it's like easy to default to that stuff, and like not for nothing, but I don't want to be looked at like a piece of meat while you're rapping.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm better than you.
Like,
Good shit.
Don't freaking look at me like that and rap like that. You don't know me.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
But also, it goes
I
to
get that.
character too. Like, if you just don't have anything to rap about and that's your only default, like, come on, man. Like, you need to live a little then.
Right, yeah,
Like,
you need to challenge
you have no
yourself.
substance to your thing, you know, to your craft, or again, if like you're just a lyrical miracle, like by all means be lyrical miracle, but like there's ways you can do that without mentioning a female or making
Yeah.
a diss
A
on
million
somebody
different things
or
you can-
spreading hate. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
that's not what
Million
it's
better
about.
things to say.
Yeah,
Right,
million
and then
ways.
like, and, right, because the message is important, and what you say is important, and
Right. And that's your rep at the same time too. It's like you have these people that are coming on, they're just like, blah you, blah
Yeah.
this, blah
Right.
that. It's like
right.
then they're gonna be like, oh, you're letting all those people come in? Well,
Right.
nobody wants to go to the Bridge Side anymore.
Right,
And then it's like,
exactly.
well, there goes everything we just built for the
Yeah.
past 5 years, and
Yeah.
I totally get
And
that.
like, yeah, and like we like if people like do like, you know, because we always like have newcomers, and not everyone knows.
You're gonna
like,
yeah.
You know, so we're just like, hey, like, you know.
That's part of why like when I started, you know, rapping, I made it a point to like not swear at all because like there's, you know, better words to use
Yeah.
than, you know, F this, F that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I will every now and then.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I've
you know,
definitely-
if you want to push your songs to like radio, you won't have to worry about like, you know, getting like radio edits. And like if there's kids at your shows, most importantly, if there's kids at your shows or
Yep.
you know, like
It opens your market up too, because then you can
Right.
do those
Right.
family-friendly shows,
Yeah.
or you know, like your folk festival or something, or the Town and City Festival, or whatever it is. That, you know, a lot more people that it can.
I
be.
don't want, yeah, like I don't want to expose like a 5-year-old to, you know,
Right.
or having to censor
Crap.
yourself.
Right.
exactly.
In the-
right. And that's kind of
Yeah.
like how I felt when like, you know, like we started doing shows at Starlight Square, and like, you know, artists like Young Dog were coming with his parents and stuff like that.
yeah.
Like it definitely was like, okay, like you kind of do swear a lot,
Yeah.
and
Like even if
like-
you're respectable, even if you're respectable and a good person, like you know,
Yeah.
when people, you know, have kids and you're
yeah.
Time and a place.
They're-
yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it puts
exactly.
me into auntie mode. So then, like, now I've just kind of like been considering and like just working on, you know, not swearing when I'm talking in general, and just like, just certain things like that. And I'm trying to like, I think my music is like pretty clean for the most part.
I would
I
say
mean, you
so,
might
yeah.
like hear a F-bomb.
I was gonna ask if you did that on purpose, actually, because the tracks that I heard, I didn't think
I've never heard
that I
a
heard
Really?
you
I've never heard a
cuss.
swear.
Then again, I'm
I
really
cuss a lot.
ADHD. Then again, you could have, and since I do, I just didn't notice. But like, that's why I was like, wait, did you purposely make this clean? Because I thought that I noticed that the songs that you,
Yeah, no, I think,
it just must be minimal then.
I
would
think it
say
is
so, yeah.
minimal.
So noticed, and I
Yeah.
was like, I see you. Good.
Yeah, I've
like
been
I get
told
that.
that.
Yeah.
That's smart though.
Yeah,
That's
but
really
like,
smart.
yeah. I mean, I'm just like, I'm maturing right now, and
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, you know, I want everyone to be able to hear everything, and
Right,
not
exactly.
be like, oh, you can only play this late when the kids are in bed or like whatever.
Right,
Like,
right.
you know.
That was always my thing, is the radio play, because I didn't want it to be on the radio and then it's just and rapping and like I want people to actually be able to listen to the song,
Right.
you know, and not have to struggle with getting a radio edit or redoing the song so that it's clean. Like, remember back in the day, like DMX, like he had like the
Oh my god.
explicit version, and then he had like the radio version where it was like everything, which I mean was kind of smart, because then you could still hear the whole songs without the
Right.
Yeah.
and the
It was just
in
a
there.
bunch of like kind of like action packed
Yeah.
sounds like
yeah. So, you know, that was always my thing.
Yeah.
You know, and just making sure, and then like you said, like it opens you up to those kind of family friendly events, because like I've done a show where we had to
I'll be right back.
where we had to censor, you know, our stuff. And I mean, I don't do it in my music. That's just me personally. No judgment on anybody. But like I was just listening to people, and like it was kind of like that radio play. Like they would start rapping, and then they'd have to keep like, yeah.
yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not like getting the full song, you know,
Yeah.
to me. And it's like, I'd rather, you know, if you're gonna do it, like I'd rather just hear everything the way
Right.
it is, versus, you know, you trying to
Make it like, you know,
just fit.
family friendly.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I hear that.
I'm with it though. But yeah, you guys have an image, and you have, you know, and you're trying to, you can't build community by knocking another community out,
Correct.
you know?
Yep.
That
It's
part.
true. Like, how do
I
you
know.
build, you
like
know?
moment of silence. For that one. Yep.
But it's true. Like, if you know, that's what blows my minds. Minds. Yeah, because I have more than one.
One of your right minds. and-
Right mind.
I have right minds. Mine's
Wrong
one collective.
minds.
Mine's one collective genius. You know, but you know, for some of these organizations or whatever, like there's like a lot of hate coming from some of them or whatever it is, and it's like we got to be accepting. If you want us to be accepting, like be accepting yourself. You know, and you know, if you, especially with the platform that you guys have, like it's dope because it only builds your community even bigger. It only
Yep.
builds your platform, you know, to what it is. You know, I mean, you've been doing it for 5 years consistently, and
Right.
it's just getting better and better. You're getting the connections that you want, you know, reposts on different places. Like that's huge.
Yeah, it was really emotional. And it was like it was funny, like before I found out, I was like watching like the recap of from Hot Girl Cypher last year, and like I'm watching it, and it was like 2 hours long, so I had to like really like go through it and stuff, and I'm just
Yeah.
like crying like a baby watching all these like beautiful like women just like performing and like killing
Yeah.
classics. And then I get like a text, and it was like, Free reposted this video, and I was like, oh, here come the waterworks again.
I love that.
But those are the
Like,
moments
it's,
that
yeah, just so like
it makes it worth it.
gratifying.
Yeah.
It makes it worth it. You're like, okay, we are doing something. You know, I know you don't do it for like the notoriety and just like the community, but it's like sometimes you're just like, you know what, a good like, hey, good job, guys. Like, see what you're doing. Like, goes a long way, and then you're like, okay, all right, cool. Like, we're doing
Right.
something right. You know, that people are taking notice, and we're, you know, trying to spread the message out. So
Thank you guys so much. Yeah, I definitely need to stop by.
Yeah, I definitely do. It's been
I will
it's been far
absolutely
too
pull
long.
up, and you know
Far too
what?
long.
Maybe I will jump on the mic. I'm like, you know
Yes,
what?
I'm telling you.
You can bring that notebook that you had.
Oh,
The Britney
dropped
Spears
a
bars.
bomb.
I hate you.
Listen, you aired it out on that episode.
You're
so
absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I don't hate you.
you aired that out on that episode. So that's on you.
Like to just publicly embarrass myself on purpose. Sometimes it's, frees
Listen.
people to do the same.
Yeah, Lil
really.
Saint and Dom came out episode 50.
Lil
so
Saint is my favorite. Dom has a special piece of my heart, I will say. He was
till
rolling
he
with
shoots
the
it,
Rough
yeah.
Riders, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Till he brings the guns out, and then
Yeah, but I
Gotta be
might like
careful.
that.
yeah, episode 50. I brought out some of my old lyrics from like when I first started writing, and I was just like, I literally just started reading the first line. I'm like, what the hell is this?
It's like...
And it was like pop the trunk and like picking up chicks and part of Rough Riders and candy pink cars that I didn't have and just awful, just awful.
was awesome.
But yeah, it was so much fun. But I was just like, man, but good times.
I love finding old like bars and stuff.
Or like journals or just
Yeah.
anything, really. You're like,
Facts,
oh, wow, that was...
You find something that's like, really? I said that?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said when I opened that notebook up. I was like,
Why? What were you doing?
I was like, Jay, what? I had to do like a disclaimer before saying, I'm like, this is nothing that I do now. You guys, just so you guys know, like, this is not the J Faith that you know. That was Dom from back in the day, and he wanted to be a Rough Rider. So, but that is not who I am anymore.
Sometimes it makes you want to do that much better too. It's like, all right, well, it brings a better version of you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember one time I found an old. There was 2 poems I think I found from when I was in like middle school. One was about 9/11 and it was really nice. And it was like, what was the last bar? I think I took a picture of it on my phone, but I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. I'll never find it. But like, yeah, there was one poem that I found and it was like a 9/11 tribute, and then there was another one. And I remember the title being an ode to Jillian.
It's like a to your future self type of thing.
It's something like I remember bits and pieces. One was like it was like a baby screaming, "Mommy, mommy," or something like that, or "Looky, looky." It was something crazy, like cute. And something, read a bookie, or like it was really
Just
cute.
trying to rhyme any way you could.
Cute.
You're just like, oh.
I'll find it and I'll show you guys.
For sure, we'll have to
Young
have
Jilly Bean.
We'll have to have a segment.
Yeah, we can just
Rookie,
kind of
don't
have this
compare me
recurring
to a
segment.
rookie.
Yes, I think that might have been a word.
Yeah.
Rookie could have been one of them. Yep.
Oh man, that's too funny. I love old bars. Old bars are just makes you realize how far you've come.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm like,
As far as the lyricism, the quality of the music, what mental place were you in at that time?
Right.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can kind of look back and either laugh and be like, oh, I remember that, or
Yeah.
be like, oh, I remember, I thought life sucked so bad right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
this
was
was
I
a
talking about?
trash moment in my life.
Right.
Let's close that up and not relive that again.
Yeah, definitely those moments too.
So that's in the pile of never
Garage
used
Band
ever. Yep. First album. Yep. First album, right in GarageBand. Don't care.
Man. You know what? I don't know. When I first started, way before I was ready to release anything, I didn't have a mic or anything. I recorded everything on a laptop, just in GarageBand. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna.
Yep.
This is the album. This is it.
Coming soon.
I would
Yeah.
love to hear that.
Oh no, you're not.
You're like, that will
I don't
never
have
see
any
the
of
light
that
of day.
anymore.
I wish I could find my original recordings. I remember I think I told you guys, we recorded with a Rock Band microphone. Like the game
No, sir.
Because it had the USB plug-in. So what did we do? Yep, plugged it right into the laptop, and that was our microphone because we had nothing else.
My very
That's
first song
amazing.
was on a USB mic. It was a remix to Ariana Grande's I love the way you make me feel.
Yeah.
That song. Yeah.
Yep. That's so good. That's
Yeah.
That's a
awesome.
jam.
Too bad I'll never hear it.
I know. I wish I had my.
If I
stuff.
find it, I'll send it through.
Thanks for picking that up. I'm like, it's really a shame. I'll never hear that.
I know. I'm like, is there a way that I could I don't know, some server somewhere that just has the backup of all my old music that got put in some cloud somewhere? I'm like, I want that.
I could show you guys about my very first mixtape that I put out on SoundCloud.
I would.
That was 2014.
No, this was a year after me.
No, it was 10 years ago actually.
Oh, wow. I would definitely listen to that.
2021, something like that.
Yeah, break open the vault.
Yeah. If I find it, I'll send it through, and then maybe one of the next podcasts we can talk about it or something.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that. We can pull up one here.
Yeah,
here
I'd
and
love
there,
to start playing some
Start talking
music
about
and
it.
stuff, some old music or whatever.
Yeah.
Without it getting cut off on YouTube or whatever. Facebook.
Oh, yeah, because it's you guys' music, so it
Yeah.
wouldn't matter, right?
Yeah, and we're not. Well, I'll speak for myself.
Like,
I'm
it's okay.
not
I'll
that
get
famous
the
yet.
streams from it. You can play my music.
Yeah.
I'm like, can we do Jillion Dollar Dreams? That was genius. I love that name, by the
Yeah,
way.
that's a super.
I was like, that's so catchy. I
crafty
love
name.
that.
Yeah, super catchy.
I gotta give credit to a homie for that
love that.
album name.
Really?
Shout out to my boy CG, who's an artist also, closer to the battle scene. But yeah, he was one of the day one homies when I first started making music. And we were just talking about mixtape names, and he just said Jillion Dollar Dreams, and I was like, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I kept it the
That is a
whole
cool name.
time.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
super
Yeah.
catchy. I was like, I like
Isn't
that a
it?
lot. That is smart. I would never think of it. I was like, that is so smart.
So I'm like, oh my goodness, yeah, I really liked that name.
Yeah, shout out to that person.
Yeah, shout out to you, CG.
I feel like
Good looks.
that's something that's always going to be remembered too.
Yeah, I have to,
I haven't heard it, but it already sounds like a classic to you.
I'm definitely in future projects, I definitely want to bring it back. at
Jillion
some
Dollar Dreams
point.
too.
Yeah, 'cause
Yes,
it's such
you
a-
should.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
That would be cool.
yeah, I have a name for my next project called Womanhood.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
So that's the next one. This one should be, I'm finishing it up now, next couple months. So hopefully,
Nice, nice,
guys
nice.
will be able to hear it.
That's
Oh, yeah.
exciting.
Definitely. Hell yeah.
Okay.
How many tracks you got?
Working on 8 to 9,
Okay. Okay. No, I was
probably
just curious.
8.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
it's a good
Yeah.
mark.
That's
I only say that because we had a whole segment on that before.
Yeah.
Of
we-
What song?
yeah.
how
How many
number of
songs should be
songs.
on an album or whatever. That's
Yeah.
what we were talking about before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And there was a big difference, I guess you could say.
yeah.
And we could talk about that after because I
You're-
know we already
You had
Yeah.
how many?
chatted
How
on
many?
that. 15.
Okay. Yeah, you
15
had
on
15.
apartments.
Yeah.
But I was like, I had a lot to get off my chest. And it's also 13 years.
You
So
wrote that, you
Yeah.
wrote
I
that
had a
album for
lot
72
to get off
years.
my
Jay.
chest.
It makes sense why you would have 15
Yeah.
tracks.
Yeah.
at least it wasn't a Chris Brown album of 40 something. So
Yeah.
I could have gone there. But I think I fit enough into 15.
Yeah.
So.
Usually my projects are anywhere from 12 to 15, maybe 16.
Yeah. I try not to go over 15. I feel
Yeah.
like, to me, anything over that is.
I feel like as a listener, I always appreciate at 12. I feel like 12 is the sweet spot
It's like a
for
good
me
medium.
as a listener.
Yeah. Eight's so
I don't
eight's
know
so
what
good
it's
because
like to
it's
obviously
still
make an album, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I feel like if it's a long album, a really long album, I'm like, okay, there's a reason why it's
Yeah.
this long, and I know I got to sit down and listen to this carefully.
Yeah.
right. Oh, that's a
Right.
good point,
That's
too.
how I usually look at. I think about where the artist was at that time.
Yeah.
Like,
if it's important to the album, like absolutely keep it there. But if it's just a bunch of just stuff thrown in there, like you probably could have took that one off, took that you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't like doing them too short, but I don't like doing them too long either.
Yeah.
But I also try, like, every now and then I try to be, like, unconventional. And,
Which is
like,
good.
Oh yeah.
Like, do one song, like, super short. That's, like, really good. And I'm like, so you can play it on repeat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I did that on
Right.
like,
I did that on one of my last albums. It was like super short. It was like a quick, like probably like it was a 16, but it was like 8 bars and 8 bars, like with a quick little like middle, and then I was like, I'm out. Maybe like a minute, maybe like a minute 20, if that. Just like a quick thing called Pinky Swear, and I was like, I was in and out, and I was like, that's all I want. That's it. That's cool. I'm good.
Yeah.
So I get you.
yeah.
You got to be though. Sometimes those things. Sometimes those are the ones that just catch. You're just like, man, okay, I can rock with that.
Yeah.
Right.
I dig it.
I will say though, like I do the thing, and I've done this since I was a kid. If I like a song, I will listen to it on repeat so many times that it's either embarrassing, horrifying, or it shows dedication. Like,
abuse the
I
crap
will, and I
out of it.
think maybe just like creatives just do that in general. Maybe we just find something that we love and we're like, oh my God, I want to study every single thing about that. Like I want to know every little like beat and noise and like layer and lyric, and like there's so much to study in music. But I'll definitely, if I like a song, I'll listen to it over and over and
Yeah, I'm
over.
the same way. My on repeat playlist on Spotify is pretty crazy. It's like Project Pat and then like Janet Jackson. And like,
Such a vast,
That's awesome.
but that's dope. That's
and then we got J Faith in there.
Oh, you gotta.
Oh my.
Run Up Rent Free, guys.
Run
No
Free,
pun
dope
intended.
track. Ah,
See what I did there?
That's a good track. That's a really good track.
I love that track.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah,
Dude,
I
Rent Free was awesome.
Super hyped.
And we
to
didn't
have you
even
on.
like link up for it. That was the first time I did like a song where I didn't link up with somebody to like record
snap.
with them in the studio.
Yeah, and that was the first one for me where I had everything written, and I was like, "Here you go," and I was like, "I'm like entrusting you with lyrics that I've already had."
And I appreciate that.
Yeah,
so,
and I appreciate you.
much.
Like I said before, like I appreciate you like being willing to take my lyrics and not being like, no, like I'm gonna write my own lyrics. And then I was like,
I mean, that's rude for someone to do, I feel like.
well, you know, I mean, it's just art. Yeah.
But you know how people can be weird and
Yeah.
like twist things in their
Just,
head.
you know,
Like
just
I
an
can't
artist.
believe you'd approach me and not have me use my own lyric. Like people get weird.
Yeah. But you know, it just fit the song so well. You know what I mean? And I wanted to have that female perspective because it was about two female. Like those are like true stories,
Right,
You know,
exactly.
and so I wanted, like, I just felt like I had to add that additional piece to it. And I was just grateful that you were, you know, totally down to do it. So
Yeah.
and it came out very well. So I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm, you know, happy with it.
Yes,
Love
J you changed my perspective. It was another growth moment, thinking like that. I felt like guys always had an agenda, and like J Faith was like the first person who didn't have an agenda. Like we had just like performed at the show together and like messaged me like, hey, like, do you want to be on this song? Like, and I was like, this is my vision, and I'm like, oh, dope. Like, I always wanted to do a track like that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and I was just like, yeah, of course, absolutely. So it was super dope, like, you know, having that like another just growing point, you know, through music, and being like, word, like, I don't have to act all bitter and weird.
No, I get that because people can be weird, and
Yeah.
especially like if you're dealing with men and in a professional setting, sometimes they don't understand that it's still a professional setting.
Yeah.
So, like, it's a mixed bag. You never
Yeah.
know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was nervous because like I'd never approached somebody and been like, "Hey, I already have the lyrics written. I just need you to rap what I have." Like I didn't know people were gonna be like you said, like I want to write my own stuff, but I was like, if you write your own stuff, then it doesn't fit with the story of what I'm trying to say.
I guess
Yeah.
it depends on perspective, because like I feel like if someone approached me that way, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so honored
Right.
that you felt like I would be the proper storyteller for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I think that's beautiful. That's a privilege. But
Yeah.
I guess it just depends on like
Yeah.
the lens
In
that you
some
see that
cases, you'll
through.
have something written, but like I don't know, the way like someone's voice sounds, like the way you envision it, if it's a deep song, like if you need that specific person to say it because you can't pull that kind of thing off, that's where
Yeah,
it's,
like what made you think I would be a good fit for Rent Free?
I don't know. I just always liked your vibe, and I know that there was like a deeper thing to it. It wasn't only, you know, just like ciphers and spitting
Yeah.
bars. Like, you know, I've heard you perform and just have that cadence and that storytelling piece of it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know, and you're obviously, you know, super cool and chill. And I was like, this is somebody that I can approach. This is somebody that I
Yeah.
feel would understand where I'm coming from with this song and be like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, and it worked out.
Yeah,
You
it
know?
did work out.
Because I initially, like, when I first wrote this song, like, I originally wrote it to the beat of Lost Ones by J. Cole.
Really?
And that's where I kind of got the idea from it, as far as kind of having those perspectives, but I didn't want to do it like exactly like it, where, you know, he does the guy and then the girl and then I think like the outside friends type of
Yeah.
perspective. But I was like, let me try to flip it a little bit, like tell their story, but then also have that female kind of perspective in there that he
Yeah.
kind of, you know, drizzles in there. So I was like, you know, that's where that originally came from. So it was like all written from that
Nice.
that one beat. But obviously he had 3 verses, I only had 2. But that's
Yeah,
just-
no, I love Rent Free. I think it's a dope song, and I like, again, super honored to
yeah, no, thank you.
even be, you know, you feeling the way, you know, you do about just my music and just thinking I would be a good fit for that. So like,
Yeah.
super appreciate it.
Of course.
And just love the Apartments album in general.
Thank you.
Super fire.
Yeah,
like,
thank you.
Yeah, like,
That's really good.
yeah, I like that. It's just I like vulnerable music, and just like, you know, you can tell when people are just like doing a song, or when they're like really like putting like all of their like emotion and everything into like a song for a purpose, like. And I think you just did such a great job with it. I really.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was on the repeat playlist.
Appreciate that.
yeah.
I feel like I have a different song like every like week and a half that I'll kind of just keep playing. Like first it was Acre to the Burbs, then it was Boulevard, now it's
Yes.
Priceless.
Yes.
What was the one? Oh my God, I'm blanking because my ADHD. We were talking about it before we started.
Voicemails.
Apartments. Oh, the title track. Oh, it's the title track. I forgot the name of it. Oh my God. Somebody get me out of here. No, but that's a classic Kayla moment. I love that, so I'm kind of, that's going to be my new one.
That's a different one. That's one that I haven't heard much people say.
I would say for me, like Voicemails is my favorite on the album.
Yeah. Like title track Apartments is like, yeah, probably the least one that I've heard.
Oh my God, that
So
person,
far.
it's stuck in my head right now. Whoever is the feature on that, his,
Nate Price. Yeah.
oh my God, the tone of his voice, it's stuck in my head. It's beautiful. Like,
Yeah, it's been typically like Acre to the Burbs, Boulevard, Rent Free. Voicemails
I
has
guess I'm pretty
still been a
basic
classic.
in my taste.
Let Go and Question My Character have been
Yeah, that one was
kind of
good.
the
I like-
bigger ones that I've heard, you know, that people have said. And then maybe Testimony.
I just want to get your streams up. I'm
Thing
not gonna lie.
goes so hard. Like, it's like, because there's just so much substance to it. So it's like even if you do like one song one day, like, you know, maybe later that week, there's going to be another song that resonates. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. Priceless was making me feel like I could, like, I was like, whoa, like I'm ready. Oh my God. Like I can do this. Yeah, I'm like, yes.
Time to rob somebody today.
But Hunger Games by you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, that was
Murph,
your jam.
That gets me too. I don't know why this happens.
We're doing that on Sunday too, so if you do go,
Nice. I'll be like, I'll be like starting a mosh pit. The right line mosh pit. That like motivates me to get through things that like tasks like I don't want to do. Like for some reason I've noticed that song has come on before. I've been like, I should really go to the grocery store.
it's all fun and games.
And then I'm like, yeah, I'm going to market basket. It is fun and games.
Ain't about to play me in my car.
Yes. It motivates me. I love it. So yeah.
Appreciate that.
Shout out to Michael Murphy III. I was actually going to say earlier, if anybody knows about changing their name and the intricacies of that, Michael Murphy III, formerly known as
MoFlo.
Yeah.
formerly known
That's
as.
actually,
you would know.
yeah, good. I should reach out to him.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Not only just like the streaming portion, but just like the rebranding of everything.
Yeah, he would definitely.
Because he's in like a
have some-
huge rebranding. He's like, I'm still like trying to figure it out.
I saw his post about that.
Like he's still.
He went through a lot for that too. Like
Yeah, he did.
was going through some shit. Like
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
if you hear MoFlo and then you hear some of the new like Michael Murph, like playing cards is like a completely different style of who now Michael Murphy is, and like you can hear, like you can see the difference of just the content that he put into playing cards versus, you know, something like Hove or Hercules, which are dope songs. I love performing those songs with him too, but like you can just tell the contrast that's between the two, and you're like, okay, like I can see that transition there. Like I can see that you are finally not finally, but you are switching over, you know, to that kind of thing. And I think for him it was like the same thing, like he said, like he's like, I'm getting older, I'm growing in my music. Like MoFlo just sounds like I get, and I use this loosely, like not taking it too seriously, kind of a name, whereas like, you know, he uses his real name and it's just more like established and firm, and again the content kind of matches up with that. So I'm like, I'm excited to hear what
he was worried. He was worried about.
Shout out to Michael Murphy.
He was worried about it, like about the name like not sticking. You know, not being able to stick. I think it's gonna stick though.
Michael Murphy III?
Yeah.
Is that what I was like? It may be a mouthful, but like you're remembering that.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
like
Yeah.
I think that's pretty standout.
Yeah.
I tried to make like the Roman numerals because it's MM3, and I was like, is there any reference to you in your life? Because I was like, that would be a sick logo.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, like, because it's what, like, I think 2003? I could be wrong, or 2003 maybe. I'm terrible at Roman numerals, but it was something like that. And he was like, no, like, nothing really happened in like 2003.
Can you just make it up?
And I was like, that'd be such a sick like story. You know what I mean?
That would
just
be a
like
sick
cool-
album name too. Like
That actually
have
would be.
like just the Roman numerals,
Like
just
MM3,
that
yeah.
sticked out, or like
Michael
like
Murphy, pay attention.
say,
Episode
right?
53, pay attention.
black
I'm gonna post this
background or a
out.
white background, just like those Roman numerals, like
Funny, I
MM3,
pictured,
and have
like-
it stand for something,
Or embossed
You know
or
what I mean?
something. Like an embossed.
I pictured like charcoal gray black
Yeah.
with like red and then something.
Like embossed in it.
Yeah.
And then just,
Yeah.
that'd be dope.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. Take note.
You're
Take
welcome.
note. So yeah. But yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you being on the album, and I appreciate you being here, coming
yeah.
through,
Yeah,
taking the drive to.
I'm excited for your new project too. I'm
Yeah,
definitely gonna
same.
dive into your
I'm
project.
excited,
I've heard you spit.
guys.
I've heard you spit before, and like you're amazing. And like I've never heard like a full project from you, so I'm gonna dive in right away for
Thank
sure
you so much.
and get caught up.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it, and yeah, like I took just a big break from like performing and stuff so I could just like, you know, let like everything I need to out and do things my
important.
way
Yeah.
again
Yeah.
and I'm about to crank out a project now.
I can't
yeah.
wait. I can't wait to pull up on a
Excited.
cipher too
Yes.
and just like check out the vibe. It sounds so
Last
dope.
Saturday
like,
of every month.
I said it.
I think
I'm
the
ready
Right
for that.
Mind team needs to show up.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
And
we should go to the next one.
Should do a
Absolutely.
podcast out there.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the mics. Just do it on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
It'd be dope.
Hell yeah.
Y'all cipher and then, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Brought you down. How long you been doing
God.
it? Trying to expand. Let's go. Come on now.
Lego.
Right?
Trying to build more of a community.
I was like, I'm about it. About it.
Yeah.
Let's do it because I feel like
Word.
like everything aligns. Like we're on the same page about
Yeah,
a lot
for
of
sure.
different things. So
For sure.
Definitely. Yeah. Love to have you guys come
Experience a Bridge Side
Hell
Cypher.
I was like, I would
Yeah.
love to invite myself into it.
Yeah.
You can. That's the best.
That's what it is.
part.
Just
I
show
was like,
up.
that's just kind of what I do. Apparently, I just
Which is
kind of
like,
show up
go.
and then I never leave.
And here you are.
And here I am.
Well, before we leave, how can people kind of connect with you, stay tapped in? It'll be in the bios and everything,
Yes. Link in bio always, but if you guys don't know me, my @ is SillyJillyX3 on all platforms, Facebook, Instagram, all that jazz, except I don't have Twitter because I don't believe in Twitter.
Yeah.
It's
but
evil.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
But yeah, SillyJillyX3 on all social media platforms, and you can find Jillian Dollar Dreams on not SoundCloud, Spotify,
Hey.
Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon, all that good stuff. Just chill with the $sign for now, but who knows? I might be,
Who knows?
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Switching up
Yeah.
Bridge Side
Grown,
Cypher.
just chill, and yeah, keep
Gotta
an
shout
eye
out
out.
the Cypher.
Yeah, shout out Bridge Side, shout out the homies Gio Da Vinci and Aaron King, my boys, and yeah, keep an eye out for womanhood this summer.
Let's
Love
go.
that.
Word,
I can't
okay.
wait.
Be on
Hell
the
yeah.
lookout. Well, I want to thank everybody one more time for coming through
Thank you,
and being
guys.
here. Thank y'all, co-hosts, being here with us.
Of course.
But until next time, my name is Jay Faith,
This is life.
My name is Kayla.
And I'm just Jill.
and this is the Right Mind Wednesdays podcast. We'll catch y'all next time. What's up?
What's up?
Later.
Yerp.